This is the Carlton Podcast. Here's your host, Tony Moclair.
Hello and welcome to the official Carlton Podcast. It's episode 17 for season 2014. The man joining me, as he does every week, is 50% of the way through a 2-week suspension. He was framed, Your Honour. I have an alibi for him, but it didn't work. He is Mitch Robinson.
Such is life, mate.
Indeed, yes. Somebody should get a tattoo of that. What could possibly go wrong
Great
there?
man, Ned Kelly. No, it's great to be here, mate. Whoa, what a week, eh?
Well, how's your week been, Robbo?
It's been terrible, mate. Last 2 weeks, I've nearly finished the hard training part. I'll join back in the main group next week. So once they fly out, I've got Saturday's another hard running session for me. Then I'm back into it. So just a little bit more game-orientated running for me, and I think a couple of the boys that aren't playing. So get through that, then it's looking bright again.
You are nursing let's see, you've got a bleeding cheek and two, it looks like cat scratches on your neck. Can you tell us what caused them after we say hello to our guest?
Just you learn, don't backchat the missus, mate.
Oh, it's taking you that long to know that?
No. It was training today. We had a couple physical drills in there, and Jared Keisha hasn't cut his nails, so it's a bit of a bit scratch in there. So he's not
into manscaping, or he's not a nervous person.
I don't know. Like a lot of the boys don't cut their nails, and it's just kind of disrespectful because I come out now to explain to Mrs. what I was actually doing today instead of I was at training with a big scratch on my neck.
Oh yeah,
it's like who was she?
Yeah, thank you.
No. So yeah,
well,
it's all training.
If he doesn't cut his nails, he'll never play netball.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of netballers, our next guest, this week, has probably never played the game, but I'll give you some highlights of his bio, Robbo. He made his debut for the Blues in our round 17 clash against the Western Bulldogs in 2012.
Boogies.
He's played 22 games for Carlton. He is powerfully built. The 20-year-old was the first Blue to be taken in the 2011 rookie draft at pick 14. Ooh. He's revealed he once considered training to become a refrigeration mechanic.
That pays well.
Ice baby, would you please welcome the big music fan with the Kooks and Big Scary being among... Geez, you can't tell I'm in my mid-40s. Being among artists he enjoys listening to. He is Tommy.
Big Bell.
Ring the bell.
Big Bell.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Big Bell.
How are you, Tommy?
To be back. I'm very excited to be back.
Mate,
well, it's great to have you back on the podcast.
I'm a regular. Actually, fun fact, I did play a bit of netball in my primary school days.
What 2 letters on your bid?
Goal attack, if you won out in goal square. Try and get around him.
Centre. I'll just see.
Yes, just to see.
You're a professional sportsman now, so does that mean you could get your head around the step throw rule kind of thing in netball, which I could never understand?
You can't move when you
have...
I think it was pretty straightforward, I think.
Catch and stand. You can't dribble. It's not basketball.
I played with a few girls, so it was easy.
Play with a few boys, did you?
Yeah.
And how's your week been, Tommy?
It's been good. Great win on the weekend by the boys. So that was my first game back in the senior side for about 8 weeks. Looking forward to getting out in Sydney.
Now, you were lurking in the forward line, is that right?
Yes. So I was a super sub.
Super sub.
That was... I've got to say, from a fan's point of view, we'll get to your thoughts on the game in a second, Robbo, but how accurate was the kicking? There were 7 behinds all night.
It was
amazing. It was like 24/7.
I didn't even
it was like
21,
22 goals maybe. I think it was like I was in the crowd watching and I was in disbelief, really, like how good we're going. So
it was surgical. It was
the boys
wonderful.
were just on like Donkey Kong pretty much. But it's good to see all the boys taking their marks. Like young Menzel, we'll talk about him in a second, but he is rising star.
And Levi Casboult's mark in packs was just exhilarating.
It was.
Even having Big Simon White down there was pretty
Big Whitey got lost and he was down there and just plucked a few.
I know.
So how did you view the game, Tommy? Can you just give us your because unfortunately, as I said at the top, poor Robbo's been scratched out for 2 weeks. So you were there. It was Carlton were switched on from the get-go. There was a period where Essendon challenged. The lead got shaved to 10 points, but we kicked away.
St Kilda.
Oh, sorry, who did I say?
Essendon.
I've just got them on the brain. Where St Kilda, who it's always good to beat, let's be honest. Thoughts on the game, Tommy Bell?
It was good. It was a good vibe in the rooms before we went out. So that's probably the reason why we started really well. There was that period in the second quarter where we sort of let ourselves slip a little bit and they came back.
Yeah.
At halftime, Mick gave us a good talking to, and I think we came out in the second half and sort of blew them away a little bit. I think that's when we really pulled the trigger and started to play our proper game. So did
anyone know Andreas Everett noticed him in the first quarter? Or was that just me?
Why?
Mate, he was marking everything. No, but
he
took like 8 something marks in the first quarter. He's just
that was definitely one of Dre's better games.
Yeah,
I've seen him play. He was on.
He was on. He was on.
Yeah.
He was looking
Really
good.
Carazzo, I noticed, there's a great saying from a pianist, I think it was. I did say pianist,
Yep.
Robbo.
Okay.
He said, to me, the music is not in the notes. The art is not in the notes I play. It's the spaces between the notes. Now, Carazzo's decision-making in the frantic stoppages, just able to, when he's being challenged, just be able to pause a third of a second to hit the target. It's the first time I'd actually seen it. I saw how precise his game could be and how good his decision-making is under pressure. Would you say, Tommy, that's probably his best game since coming back, since the best game all year? I mean,
Carrots?
Yeah.
Well, he, I think that was definitely one of his better starts.
Yeah.
Pretty unfortunate for him to get that quad injury just before the second half. But no, hopefully when he comes back, he can bring that form into his games when he comes back. And
How long's he out for, Tommy?
was it 2 weeks?
Not too sure. I think with Carazzo, he might take a little bit more time. He might wait a little bit more. Or he might just come straight back after the 2 weeks is up. But I know he's been very underrated recently, and mate, he's been doing very good jobs. Like we hear about McCaffrey and stuff, but Carazzo goes under the radar. He's been stopping the best, and he's been giving us some offensive spread as well, and clearing the ball like he should be. So. He's a big loss, but I think we'll have one of the younger blokes come up and fill his spot.
Do you want to speculate as to who that might be, Robbo?
Off the top of my head, well, they're travelling tomorrow, so on the Thursday today, so they travel on Friday. I reckon Cage has been suspended, so that's why I thought he would have come in. But I reckon
he's taking his rage out on you.
Yeah. But I reckon Big Tommy Bell might get in the midfield a bit more, so hopefully he gets in. And a younger bloke, probably by the names of Ellard or Pussa, I reckon might come in.
Okay.
Oh, Nicky Graham. Yeah, Nicky Graham.
Okay. How do you go in the centre normally, Tommy?
Mate, look at him. Big Bell.
That's your...
Yeah, I like contested footy. So,
Yeah.
He dropped Big Robbie Warnock today. We had a bit of stoppage work out there.
Really? What happened?
This guy didn't realise he did it. Robbie Warnock was there chasing the ball, and Big Bell's on his team came through and smacked him right in the face and dropped him. Like timber.
Yeah.
The tree fell down.
It takes half an hour for him to hit the ground.
It did. And the blood was at his nose, and Big Bell didn't even know what happened. Didn't even know what happened.
The harder they fall. So.
How was Robbie after that?
He was filthy.
He was angry.
He was filthy.
He wasn't too happy.
That's good. He needs to channel that anger.
He does.
Not the way Keisha did and leaving
No.
Robbo bruised and battered and bleeding. You know what that.
Yeah, I know.
Lockie Henderson, Levi Casboult, Simon White, 12 goals between them. The forward line just seemed to be humming. Tommy.
It was really good. It was good to see Whitey get up there and kick a few goals. And Big Levi is just on fire at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's taking every single grab that comes in the forward 50. So, yeah, it'd be good if he can clunk a few on the weekend.
Robbo, watching the game from the benches and considering how emphatic the win ended up being, did you have mixed emotions about that, or what was your experience of watching the game like?
Mate, no Robbo, no worries. Apparently, the boys go out there and just turn it on. No, I was happy. I had one of my mates up from Tassie who was a St Kilda supporter, so I was sitting next to him in the grandstand, and I felt pretty bad for him because we were kicking everything that came in the forward line, and the boys just. It was good to see the pressure up and about. You can tell when we're going well because we're taking our risks and they're coming off and our disposals well and we're defending well. So it was a great game. Like try not to get ahead of yourselves. We've got the top ladder team Sydney this weekend. I think it's going to be sunny on the Saturday. So hopefully
19 and sunny.
19 and sunny. So Big Bell's already checked it out. Hopefully our skills and stuff are good in the conditions and defense first and then go from there.
How have we tracked on those smaller grounds generally? The SCG is a smaller ground, say, than the MCG. How does the current game plan suit a smaller ground like the SCG? Yeah,
well, we had our opposition meeting today, and we noticed that Sydney, predominantly used to be a boundary line team, but at the moment they're bringing kind of corridor. So I reckon it'll be trying to clog up the corridor for them and make them go along the boundary to give our backs a bit more time to defend and stuff. But we do like getting the ball outside because we have a lot of fast players and a lot of fit players in the team. So I think if we have some strong numbers around the ball, like they love their contested footy and clearances, and so do we. So it's going to be battle of the Rams in there.
It'll be one for the connoisseurs, Tommy
Mate,
Bell.
It will be.
Blaine Johnson, the
no
Blominator.
Blaine.
Blaine Dog.
Yeah.
Blaine Dog.
Yes, get around him.
It was exciting to see him against St Kilda. Can you tell me what position he was playing, Tommy?
He was a high half forward, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Big Blaino. It's good to see him
Can you tell us a bit about him?
He looks like an older player, like long socks.
To be honest,
socks up.
What do you know about Blaine?
Mate, you just don't know much about him. He just doesn't complain.
He's no complain Blaine there.
Something, he'll just get the job done.
He won't play the Blaine game.
That's why he's 18 years old and in the team playing seniors, because he doesn't complain about anything. He loves playing his role for the team, and that's why we love those younger players.
It's good to see him come into some form as well.
Mate.
Like, on the weekend, he had the ball on a magnet. He just kept coming to him. Would have been nice. I don't think he's kicked a goal in senior footy yet.
No,
so.
he had a couple. I said to him after the game, he could have had a very good game if he. He's a little bit on his range, so I think 50 metres is probably his range, and he's just kicking from there. So I reckon if he gets inside the 50, look out, because he'll be on fire. Big Blaine.
He'll snake a few this week.
I reckon.
Well, we know Dylan Buckley got a goal with his first kick in AFL.
Yeah, he still lets us know that.
Yeah, still told me that today. Actually, I was second kick goal. But
he's a friend of the podcast too. He's been in before. So we know he wears number 45, Anthony Franchina's old number here
Aaron
at the
Joseph?
Blues. Blaine Johnson. And it's a great name to have at the Carlton Football Club, let's be honest about that. So look,
Chris Johnson?
No, Blaine Johnson.
Yeah,
no, Wayne Johnson.
Johnson. We had Chris Johnson too.
I don't. It's Jack Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson. There's many famous Johnsons. There's just me.
Dick Johnson?
Just Wayne Johnson, the Dominator.
Oh, the Dommer.
Yeah, great player. Now, very interesting thing about Levi Casboult that was said by Wayne Carey, who knows a thing or two about being able to take a mark and kick a goal.
TBE, best ever.
He has suggested that Levi Casboult might have the best hands in the game. Do either of you want to comment about that?
Yeah, I'll say something.
Are they supple? Does he just moisturise? Is he just very careful about keeping his nails at exactly the right
Levi
length?
Casboult might get a few pedicures and manicures every now and then.
Him and his missus,
they love it.
They're heading out to Doncaster.
They're going to Doncaster now to plan some of the wedding, because they're getting married.
Yes.
So
they'll stop in on the way.
They'll stop in and get a manicure and stuff. But big Levi. Since he got drafted, he came to the club. We knew we just had to unleash him somehow, because at training he was taking all the marks. Like, geez, he'll be a good player. He can kick some goals. And he's finally taking his opportunity. He's kicking some snags. So what can you ask more from him? Obviously, Wayne Carey knows his stuff, and just keep taking your marks, mate.
Now, Tommy, you're a big guy.
Yes.
And Robbo, you and I are parents, so we know a thing or two about birth weight and what our poor missuses have to put up with when you deliver a big child. How much was Chance again when he was born?
9.8, and he's about a week overdue.
A week overdue. Okay. Very interesting bit of audio that was picked up. Here's Levi Casboult. And
just have a listen.
Just have a listen to this.
Did you actually shoot up in your teens, or were you always sort of a big kid basically from the get-go when you commenced adolescence?
Yeah, I've always been pretty big. When I was born, I was 5 weeks preemie and 9 pounds. So right from the get-go, I've been pretty big.
Mother would have been pleased that it was 5 weeks early than now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Robbo, 9 pounds.
5 weeks early.
Holy hell.
What a beast of a man.
When they took a baby photo, Tommy...
skin folds back then. What would they have been?
That's a good point, yes. Well, I know they were feeding him plankton. I know that much. And Levi's parents sat on his knee when he was a week old for the photo. That is one large child.
Mate, well, they say, from the producer, they say that a baby grows probably double in size in the last month. So you can imagine if he was 9 pounds... I'm not a mathematician, but 18?
18, yeah.
18 pounds, so that's a pretty big baby.
You'd need the CFMEU on hand to take that puppy out with a crane. Poor Mrs. Casboult, God. Tommy, can you sketch Levi's progress at the team? Because now we are saying, from a supporter's point of view, he takes seriously good marks, contested right in front of goal. He looks like... a giant, and more importantly, they're sticking, and even more importantly still, he's converting.
Yeah, big Levi. He's starting to get a bit more confidence, I reckon, and that's really helping him. He debuted the same time as me, and I reckon probably over the past, since the start of the year, Mick's really backed him in. So I think it's good that he's backed him in, and he's finally coming into some form. Like whenever I'm down doing weights, Levi's always outside kicking. Working on his kicking and working on his deficiencies, I guess. Finally, big meters taking some big grabs. So that's what we need.
And confidence is everything in footy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially for those big forwards, when they do start clunking a few and they get in front of goal, they can't listen to anything outside of sort of just their routine. I think Meter's really taken that under his wing and
100% strike rate on the weekend.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
4 from 4 shots. Boom.
Yeah.
I think I always see him outside working with Mick and his routine and everything like that. So I think it's really good to see.
He's not the he wouldn't be the greatest self-promoter you've ever met.
Doesn't
he's
say
not
a word.
No, he doesn't
yeah.
talk.
He's he's the still waters that run deep. Has he been bragging or how's he been this week?
I'll tell you one bloke has been bragging from the weekends.
Who?
Bloody Simon White.
Oh, really? Tell us
I've
more.
never seen a bloke as most happy with himself than him on the weekend. All week he's been trying to get around belly and stuff. I'm like, mate, that guy's just happy, isn't he?
I know.
Haven't seen like that for probably a couple of years now.
He's carrying on too.
He's carrying on. But, good work, kick 4 goals. But, yeah, just tone it down a bit, mate.
Good on him.
Just slap him down and just say he's only ever going to be the second best person
plays well
to
this
have won
weekend,
the 43 at the
just keep
Carlton
doing what he
Football
do.
Club.
Just keep doing what he does.
Well, look, we good. We love Whitey playing well.
Can't forget one thing, big Mark Murphy.
Yeah, how about that mark?
That's pretty nice, Belly. Did you see it?
Yeah, I was on the bench.
You're on the bench?
Saw it first
On the
hand.
bench?
It was quite nice.
But he has been, has been voted for the AFL mark of the round. So hopefully everyone's voted because this will come out probably Friday night and it'll already been tallied. So hopefully everyone's voted for him and he gets the nod and can take that mark of the year because he'll be joining such greats as Mitch Robinson and Levi Casboult.
Exactly.
And probably that's about it.
See, can I just say, Tommy, it takes a great man to recommend that you vote in the same category in which he is contesting. So,
Mate, I'm a team player.
I wish we had a camera in here to actually see what Mitch was doing.
Just sitting there, mate.
Bit of carry on
drinking
going
my water.
You were flexing.
He was flexing. You're here in your tank top, and we needed to see the guns for some reason. Can I just, seeing as you're not, you don't have a dog in this fight, so to speak.
I do have a gun
Tommy,
license, by the way.
Which of the 3 marks that Robbo just mentioned do you think would win Mark of the Year? Would it be Levi's? Would it be Robbo's? Or would it be your captain's?
He wouldn't remember Levi's mark.
To be honest, I was on the bench when Robbo took that mark over
He's on the bench a lot.
Was it goal sack?
Yes, it was goal sack, yeah.
And then did he kick the goal as well?
He did, yes.
He did. Yeah,
It was a slight
I'm
angle.
not trying to suck up to Mitchell, but I liked Mitch's mark over goal sack. That was quite nice.
It was, yes. I think
Good on you,
Murph's mark
Thanks,
was...
Billy.
Murph's mark was... Yours had skill, Murph's had courage.
Yeah, exactly.
He just stood there and marked and some guy came through and took his arms. Let's not get excited about it.
But as we know, Robbo, as Winston Churchill said, courage is the most important of all virtues, for it makes all others possible.
How is Winston, by the way?
He's been very quiet. He's not answering his phone since
Churchy.
about 1966,
I've seen him for a while.
I think.
Now. Let's talk about a young kid coming up.
Who?
Troy Menzel.
Oh, seriously, man crush. I just love this guy. He's awesome. He's been in the podcast. He is thrilling. I love Troy Menzel.
Jeez.
And I don't care
I've
who
got his
knows
number
it.
right here if you want to
No,
text
he's
him.
awesome. And again, just to reference, how important numbers are on the back of Guernseys, he's wearing a seriously important number at this club.
Jordan Russell.
No. Okay, let's try Big Nick. Let's try Diesel. Some of the biggest names
Jordan
who played
Russell.
for this club. And he is seriously doing that number justice, and that's what I love. Why do you bring him up, though? What's impressed you about Menzel's game this week?
I've just liked that, we lost a great player last year. Eddie Betts sadly departed us.
And
we'll
we
talk
still
about
love him?
Yeah, we still love him, and it's his 200th game this weekend versus Hawthorn. So tomorrow night, hopefully all the old supporters can tune in and just, maybe send him something on Instagram. He doesn't have Twitter, so just, say, good luck, Eddie. We all still think of you. We still love you.
We sure do.
It should be
No
here,
hard
but,
feelings. We love him.
we can't
and
do
good
much
luck
about
and well
it.
done. It's a great milestone.
Yeah, so he left, and, Troy Menzel, what can you say? He's taken his opportunity with 2 hands, hasn't he? And probably a foot, too, because he kicked a couple goals. So he's done very well. He started the year, he was sub for a while. Came on and had impact in a couple of games, won us the West Coast game, and finally got the Rising Star nod. So I think he could have had it earlier, but finally got it.
He's due.
He was due for it. So he deserved it, and hopefully come back from his shoulder injury and be back up in a week or so.
You reckon it's about a week? How bad?
Well, he trained today. He just couldn't,
great.
couldn't get full range, and he didn't want to let the boys down. So we'll take probably 2 players in emergency over there that will probably play the position. So. We've got young Ellard will come in, and he's a freak in the forward line with his defensive pressure and tackling. So it's just good to we have depth in there.
So Troy Menzel, Rising Star, just make it complete now. AFL, I'm calling it at what are we, round 16, round 17? Just seriously, stop taking votes for Rising Star. It's obvious it's Menzel's. He's got a mortgage on it. Nobody is better than him. He deserves it. I have declared it. Make it so. Okay, as we always do, Robbo, on the Carlton Podcast, our guest Tommy Bell, we're going to preview the Sydney game. Robbo, they are an extremely good football club. Everybody knows that. That's reflected by where they are on the ladder. But we know it's been an interesting year. Nobody would have backed North Melbourne to beat Hawthorn last week. How do we then beat Sydney, Robbo?
Yeah, well, obviously, they're one of those teams that have recruited really well over the last few years because they've got a very in-depth team that goes down the list. There's young players like Luke Parker, who's, I've noticed him this year, and he's racking them up. I think he's second for tackles in the team and averaging 6 per game. So, like, their pressure on the ball and the contested footy and their clearances is where they really want to win their footy because they've got the two big fours down there. Well, they've got three basically: the Goods, Tippett, and Franklin. I don't think Tippett will be playing this week, but. Yeah, Goodsy and Franklin, I reckon that's the blokes that stop up there because they're just running amok. How,
Tommy, how do we deal with that very effective two-prong attack then, Buddy and Adam Goods? How do we shut those guys down?
Well, we'll have Big Rowie and Big Jamo on them, and I think they just need a lot of support from mids, I reckon. So mids obviously have to come back and chop off Buddy's. Buddy likes to lead out to the fat side, so we'll chop off Buddy's lead and...
Yep.
Goodsy, I think we just do the same. He's obviously Goodsy's a very good player, so we just need to really lock down on him and not give him any space.
And Nick Malceski, how do we neutralise his impact?
You think he's leading the AFL for the most metres gained at the moment, so I think we'll have to pay pretty special attention to him. So he's one of the guys in the back line who will like to get spare and get used, and his kicking is amazing. He always brings it back in board and hits a target. So. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of attention on him, but saying that, they've got a couple other blokes like McVeigh who gets back, and their mids like to stream back and help out the defenders. So it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch it.
Small deck up in Sydney.
Small deck, so it's going to be a
contested and
in a close game.
Hard footy, I reckon. Back to the old style.
I think Big Bill. Yes. Crashing some bodies in there, just like using his 98 kilo body. Just he's due for a breakout. And what better week to do it versus Sydney top of the ladder team?
Exactly.
He's better to get that contract signed up and ready done. It's going to shoot him forward.
Back me in.
Just make a statement, Tommy. So what's mentally? How are you preparing for the game? Do you know what position you'll be playing yet?
Hopefully through the midfield a bit more this week.
Yep.
Rather than up forward. But no, I'll just go about it like every other game. Just do my own thing until it's time to run out onto the field and. Yeah, no, as I said before, I'm really looking forward to it. So,
how do you rate playing in Sydney? Of all the cities around Australia that you do play, which would be, you say, at the top of the list in terms of the ground atmosphere and just cities to visit?
Well, I'd like to go over and play in Adelaide.
Yeah,
at the moment, but I've never played over there. So that would be nice.
Definitely Adelaide Oval as well.
Yeah, that's
probably the new ground. Oval.
Yeah. Awesome ground.
That atmosphere just there, looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even though it is only like a travelling site over there, it still looks like it's packed out every week.
A lot of Carlton supporters in Adelaide.
Is there?
Yeah. There is, especially Perth. I like getting over to Perth because we have a good following over there. We do. So
do we?
Yeah, we do. Like when we go over the games, usually I know it's a West Coast or Fremantle sold out game, but there's always a good Carlton bunch in the Gold Square cheering us on. So I reckon.
It's very good to us.
I like getting up to Brizzy as well.
I wouldn't mind getting down to Blunston Arena or what's the other one up north? Aurora Stadium?
TO Stadium.
No, that's in
Northern Territory.
No, the one in Tassie. Both the ones in Tassie. Oh. I think it's Aurora Stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
Up north. I wouldn't mind getting down there and just putting on a show for the home crowd, but...
One day, Robbo, one day. Your farewell game, maybe.
Snap Cup or something just give us something.
Yeah, okay.
We'll
now, more importantly, Tommy, who will you room with when you're in Sydney?
Not Mitch.
Yeah, I'm just saying there must be excitement. There must be great excitement in the group that Mitch is actually suspended and that covers an interstate trip.
Boys are wrapped.
The boys I can tell they're down because, they need that little bit of pick-me-up when we get off the plane. It's been a long travel, like Aaron, is it an hour out of Sydney?
Yeah, it's 1 hour, 20 minutes in a plane.
It's very taxing.
Who would I like to room with?
I can tell you straight away.
Who do you reckon?
Kane Lucas?
No, mate.
Oh, Nick Graham.
You're better than... No. We were talking about him before. He wears. He used to wear.
Yeah, obviously your main man Juddy.
Yeah, big dog.
But Juddy doesn't deal with likes like you, Belly. Like, let's be honest.
As if we don't bond.
You probably bond. Like, he's your mentor at the moment. But let's be honest, he's not going to room with you
as well.
He's going to room with anyone.
My mentor.
He asked the club. He asked the club to fly me up. so I can room with him.
Did he really?
He did.
Did he?
I swear to
Okay.
goodness.
Me, Juddy, and Mitch have this mentoring system, and I reckon Juddy's seen Mitch 2 times this year, and they were both today.
Because I'm 25 years old, mate, and I know what I've got to do.
Juddy's getting on a bit, Tommy. Does that mean it's your job to mash his food then before he...
Yeah. Sometimes he gets me to put his bath on as well because he can't reach down for that.
He gets easily confused.
Yeah, I have to put his socks on sometimes as well. That's a pain.
Yeah,
I don't
he
like
does.
doing
He
that.
struggles.
He does,
Poor
yeah.
Chris. Poor Chris.
What is he,
No,
37?
he kicked a great goal the other night and then was immediately taken off under the osteoporosis rule, which I thought was good.
Yeah, he opened up the groins a bit too much in that one. So
Big J man.
the big snap.
Good
Well,
on him. Good on him.
Robbo, we touched on it, but do you fly up with the playing group?
No, I'll be back here probably getting flogged in my own way. Saturday morning, the boys will be waking up, having their breakfast in the hotel, having a great time, and I'll be out here bright and early. Hopefully it's a sunny day for us. Come on, Melbourne, put on some good weather for me.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard session in the morning, followed by Rex's weight circuit, which is always fun. So, and then I get home and I watch the boys on TV, get my popcorn, get my Gatorade,
Get Chancey on your lap.
get Chance in the lap, and he will support the boys.
Beautiful.
I might get a big 28 on his back this week, actually.
28? You'd
Rude
give him
not
the
to.
number 28, would you?
Rude not to.
No, I never would, but
Are you kidding? It'd look good.
get in the midfield, I might think about it.
All right. Now, Tommy, as a frequent guest of the podcast, you would know this little segment that we have at the very end. It's called Do You Know Your Teammates, Mitch Robinson and Tom Bell. I'm going to give you a bunch of clues and you have to tell me who the player is. Clubhouse leader, Robbo, is it you at the moment? Are you the carryover champion from last week when we had Sam
I won last
Pang in?
week. I won.
I beat you last time, just quietly.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Who was it? Exactly.
He's
Yeah,
got you
no,
there,
I can
Tommy.
remember.
Okay.
We don't need to worry about that.
Chance to put it beyond doubt now, guys.
Do
And
you know
thanks-
your teammate, Mitch Robinson, Tom Bell?
Here we go. Thanks again to Sam Pang for coming in. It was a wonderful visit last week. Okay.
How were the ratings last week? Good or?
I imagine they were exceptional. There we go.
Sam Pang.
That's all we need to hear. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Number one clue, Robbo. Throughout my AFL career to this day, I have played 172 games and have kicked 132 goals.
Bryce Gibbs.
Incorrect.
Is it? So it's a player playing now.
Yes, it's a current
And
player.
you reckon
in
he
the
beat me
playing
before? He
group.
doesn't even know the game.
Yeah, it was Michael Jamison last time. See, I knew that.
Ah!
There we
It
go.
wasn't. He just
Okay.
make it. Oh, you find one.
Clue
thing.
number two. Growing up, I idolised Gary Ablett Sr. and would repeatedly watch my grandfather's tapes of Ablett to try and recreate his famous marks that he took throughout his career.
Wait.
It is not Jared Waite.
Mark Murphy.
No, you
mate,
only get
you
one.
can't.
No.
Stop.
No.
Next question.
Okay, come on.
Okay, Tommy.
173 games.
During my first stint of captain of my local under-14s team, I won the toss but forgot which direction I had chosen and kicked a behind for the opposing team. Regardless, my team won by 10 goals, and the behind I kicked for the opposition was their only score.
It wasn't Andrew Carato.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It's a
I
great
got a
Sportsman's
shot.
Night story, though. Okay, clue number 4. You guys are struggling.
No, you don't get a chance.
No,
Had
because
about 4 goes.
you had 2 bites at the cherry of the previous question.
Later.
Jeez.
You're a cherry.
Okay, Tommy, this one's a hand pass to you in the goal square. I was selected by my previous club with their first pick in the 2005 AFL draft.
Juddy.
Incorrect. Carlton skipper Mark Murphy once said about me, he's an impact player who doesn't need
Kate
30...
Simpson. No.
No, he doesn't need 30 touches to turn a game on its head.
This is
This is...
173 games.
And he was at a previous club.
Yeah,
It's Andrew Carazo.
Andrew Carato.
it's not Andrew Crazzo.
Josh Kennedy.
That...
Boy.
Okay,
173 goals.
here we go.
Help me.
This should give it away. After signing a 4-year deal with the Blues,
Michael, no.
I made my debut for them during their round 1 clash against Port Adelaide this year. Thankfully, my ankle didn't.
Juddy.
No.
Dale Thomas.
Pardon?
Dale Thomas.
No.
Yes, it is Dale Thomas.
He played 173 games.
Yes.
You can have that one, Billy.
Thank
That's
you.
a stupid question. That's how much I like
Oh.
my
Sore loser, Mitch
loser.
Robinson.
See you, mate.
Chuck some sauce on it, mate. I didn't care.
Make the podcast with me every week now.
That was terrible.
That was not terrible. That's the same format that we do every
Yeah,
week.
no, it was good. I'm just like terrible thinking, like because he's. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know him.
Dale Thomas.
173 games.
That's what shocked me.
Yeah, wow.
See, it's a thinking man's game. Tommy Bell, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you in. Good luck against Sydney.
Thank
I'm
you.
just confused right now.
Robbo, good luck with your training at the club over the weekend, and we very much look forward to seeing your return against North Melbourne the week after that.
Dale Thomas. Yep.
Well, I think you're crushed.
I am.
This-
I just-
you- You weren't even that upset about the suspension.
No, it just gave me a headache trying to think who it was. Like,
oh, well, now we know. Go Blues. Thanks, Mitch.
Go
Thanks,
Baggers.
Tommy. We'll
Good luck this week, Tommy Bell.
Thank
Kick
you.
a goal, and I want 10 clearances and 15 touches.